Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back. It's your girl, Davy L. I so appreciate you being here always and forever. Very grateful you took the time out to watch this video. We're going to talk about Aquarius. And before you say, Aquarius, I ain't got nothing to do with Aquarius. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's something you're going to hear me preach, talk about constantly on my page. It's giving, we have all 12 zodiac signs in our birth chart. And if you're not into birth charts, we have it in us. The characteristics live in all of us. So society has made it this thing where we're against Aquarius, but we're for Capricorn, we're for Sagittarius, but not Scorpio, blah, blah, blah. Cute. But we get real. We get down and dirty, okay? And I'm a very intuitive astrologer. I don't like to call myself astrologer, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to start calling myself astrologer because it's easier. But as an astrologer, I'm very intuitive with it. Everything I talk to y'all about, it's from my intuition. It's not from this and the third. Yes, I've studied astrology, but I'm not like deep in the thicks of like what everyone's saying. It's what comes to me. And guess what? Today, I woke up understanding after my meditation that I need to talk to y'all about Aquarius today. And I'm doing a series. I already did Capricorn. If you haven't checked that out, definitely do that. But today's Aquarius day, and we all have it within us. And Aquarius represents the humanitarian vibes that we have within us, the ways that we believe in providing for society, providing our expertise, our think outside the box vibes to society. And that's important. All of us have it in us. Even if you're like, I don't like humans, I don't care for humanitarian. It's for the dogs. Fuck it. It's for the dogs. It's for the virtual world that you're so interested in. It's for, I don't know, the people that like the hobbies that you like. So you technically have to like a version of people if you like certain things in this lifetime. If you like motorcycles, fine, you like the people that like motorcycles, and you have a belief that you need to help people with motorcycles to understand the safety so that they can enjoy, whatever the case may be. If it's animals because you really don't like humans, fine, you know. But humanitarian is just like, how do you show up in the world so unique that you get to inspire others? And it's not like you wake up like, how can I inspire others? Like, no, it's this thing where it's a vibe. Like, it's naturally in you. You just wake up and you do that thing, you know? And so we all have Aquarius energy within us. It lives in us. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how to understand Aquarius, how it lives in us, how to really like grasp the energy and make it your own and make it work for you, because there's pros and cons in all zodiac signs, every single one. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. But before I say that, the setup is interesting. My ring light slash like camera holder, phone holder, it keeps breaking, and I've been going through this for years. I will buy a new one and a new one and a new one, and it breaks. So I think my divine team's like, just do you, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to do me. I'm going to hold my phone the whole time and vibe out. And I know y'all didn't know that, but I just wanted to express that, because there's a part of me that was just like, dang, maybe I need to get the vibes right. Then I'm like, no, this isn't for show. This is something I want to talk to y'all about. It's not about my background. It's not about where I'm at. It's about, let's connect, let's talk. So I'm saying this out loud to y'all because I wanted to get that off my chest and be like, okay, so that's also an Aquarius vibe in me right now too, because it's actually Aquarius season. It happens to be, and that's when I'm recording this. It's this thing where, yeah, there's this perfect aesthetic that's out there, but I don't care to show up perfect. I don't care to have the background. Like, yeah, my wall's cracking. Yeah, this TV is a little rugged and it's in this weird corner. Who cares? You know, it works out for me. The lighting actually works. So I personally like lighting. So, you know, that's actually us getting into Aquarius season. It's doing things that feel a little different than how we may used to have done it, because this is how we were taught to do it. Maybe you took a course and it's like, make sure your background is this, that, and the third and all this stuff. And you going against that could feel uncomfortable, because it's like, whoa, I learned it a certain way. Why would I change it up now? And it's like, why not? Why not? Maybe there is a certain amount of people that need to see that you're not a perfectionist when it comes to your background, when it comes to your looks. Like, clearly when I'm talking about astrology, I got my straight backs, okay? Like, that's just something that happens. And before, I was a wig girly. I would have to have my hair done, my clip-ins, everything has to be perfect. My makeup would be done. I used to be a makeup girl, okay? I've evolved. And I've become someone that's like, I don't have to show up with makeup. I don't have to show up looking perfect, looking put together all the time. I could even talk about my struggles in life, because I am an imperfect person. And I love those parts of me. And there was a time where society, my family, my friends, everyone was just kind of like, why would you do that? And poking at the things that I would do. And naturally, we all do that as humans. I've even done it to people. But Aquarius energy is kind of asking for you to really think outside the box. You're in this box for years, for decades, whatever the case may be. But in that box, right, you have thoughts that step outside of it. You may not physically step outside all the time. Us as humans, we may not step outside, but you've had thoughts. You've had like, why is it like this? Or why do I have to do this thing? Or, oh, I have to show up like this, even though I don't want to. And of course, there are things that make sense for you to do a certain way because it aligns with your soul. And that's one thing. Even if you want to rebel against something, you don't have to rebel against it because society told me so I have to rebel. It has to align. How to align with the steps that you take and make it your own. It's not about just doing just to do. It's what speaks to your soul, what speaks to your truth. So maybe your truth is, yeah, when I go out, I like to be put together, but I also like to go out without makeup. Whereas in the past, people, every time I go out without makeup, or people, whenever I go out, and maybe for men, or anyone, any gender, shoot, look, hey, I don't judge, I don't care. Whatever you do, you do. When you wear makeup, you wear makeup. I don't give a shit. Like, what? I'm like, man, I'm like, who cares? If you wear makeup, you wear makeup. But maybe like when you were going out with sweatpants or something, and you're like, dang, every time I go out with sweatpants, people think I just rolled out of bed. Like, I can't do that. Let me do this instead. It's like, no, I like to wear sweatpants when I do this, that, and the third. But when I'm going to do this other thing, I'll wear some jeans. I'll wear some slacks. Why not? And I think that's okay, to give yourself permission to show up as you. And so that's what Aquarius is asking. Aquarius is like, yo, you have this intuitive knowing. Aquarius knows so much. We have this energy of like intuitive powers that truly shine, and they're loud. Like, we can be very judgy people naturally as humans, not just the signs and all that. And sometimes our judgments can come off as negative or like, why are we doing this? But it's really your soul sometimes telling you like, yeah, you're judging it harshly, but also change your mindset a little bit. You actually have a strong opinion about this and you want to act on that opinion. And however you act on it is up to you, but there's something here. Aquarius doesn't have to be like, you're changing the world. It's no, focus on you. How do you show up so that you can be the example? It's not about, why is everyone like this? I can't stand it. No, it's, oh, I believe in this thing, so I'm going to take the step. And I'm going to be the example. And you're not doing it to be the example. It just naturally happens. It's this natural swag that Aquarius characteristic gives you. It's this like, I'm going to move like this because that is what aligns with me. You could be someone that wears a suit every day at work, and you wear, the black suit jackets and the real monotone colors, but then you realize that you're actually into tribal color suits and really colorful, like pink suits and bright suits. But whenever you go into the office or whenever you go do this thing or go to this event, people are very, toned down and you don't want to rock the boat. But there's a part of you that's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not hurting anybody. I like it. Why not do it? And so now, whether it's daily in the office, okay, or it's these events, you're wearing this bright, bold outfit that speaks to you, and it speaks to maybe even the tribes back in whatever areas that make these patterns from scratch. And so it's this thing where you're in tune and connecting with these people that are creating these outfits, or you're the one creating the outfit yourself, creating the suit, jacket, or whatever the case may be yourself, and you're rocking it. And you're not concerned about the naysayers. You're not concerned about what people have to say. And yes, we care. And I'm going to get into Aquarius and caring because they can be a little like, I don't care. We'll get into that. But you can care and still do it anyway because it matters to you. You're not hurting nobody. There's nothing. I think I have some hair. I need some cat hair. Jesus. But you can do things that align with you, and it may be uncomfortable because you may have people staring at you, you may have people judging, you may have people supporting you. Whatever the case may be, does it align with you? Does it actually make you happy? If so, take the step, okay? And so Aquarius wants us to march to the beat of our own drum. And I say the caring thing because Aquarius is an air sign, so you can be like in your head a lot, thinking, how can I show up different? Sometimes rebellious even. And the thing with Aquarius is, even when you are connected to society and wanting better and more for society, for example, connecting people. So let's say you're passionate about making sure people can grow in their connection. And so you create events or something like that. I don't know, I'm just making whatever up. During these events, you promise yourself, because that Aquarius instinct in you is like, it's about the people. So it's not about my emotions. So now you're like, I'm not going to get close to people. I'm not going to get too close because if I get too close, I can get hurt. Or I don't need to get too close. I just need to do my part and I need to show up as how I need to show up. It's this mindset over heart thing that can really skew the Aquarius energy. It's like you can care about people and still have boundaries, you know? And I think Aquarius energy, it's this, I can go cold because I have a mission. I have a goal. I have something to fulfill. I have a passion. And like I said, it doesn't have to be this big humanitarian, like nonprofit organization that you create. It's just showing up as yourself, showing up with your hair different. That is Aquarius energy. That's marching to the beat of your own drum, because you're doing it for you. You're showing up as you. And this is something people love your long hair, love your short hair, and you switch it up on them and they're like, whoa, and it's not a style they're used to. That is something to take advantage of and dive into, but you may feel like, I can't care about what people think. I can't this, I can't. You can care, but you also understand that I hear you, I see you, I feel you, but this is my truth, right? And so listen to what other people have to say, connect with other people, but it doesn't mean you have to completely disregard emotions, feelings, connections. You don't have to mute your truth to stand up for your truth. That was a word, that was a bar, okay? You can stand up for what you believe in without muting yourself and making yourself feel like you can't connect fully, can't give your heart out. You can feel for people, but it doesn't mean that it has to tarnish relationships. Oh my gosh, an example is coming in my head. When I was working at a job in Harvard University, and I had a coworker that I worked really close with. She had a way of sending over emails because I was the HR person at Harvard and she was the recruiter, and she would send over emails, and I was new to the job, and she would just be like, oh yeah, schedule this person for an interview with this top person and do all this stuff. And they were like back-to-back interviews, back-to-back. She was throwing emails my way. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention this on this email. I'm like, which interview are you talking about? Because you're sending so many my way. I could have got frustrated. I could have shut down. I could have been like, what the heck? See, this is why, blah, blah, blah. But instead I tapped into the idea that like, okay, this is how she's been doing stuff. And just because I have a new idea doesn't mean I can't come to her with kindness and compassion and come with a solution so that it can work for both of us. So instead of being like, you're sending too many emails, this is too much, I came up with a solution. I came up with a document, and I said, hey, I asked her, hey, do you have time for us to meet up? I created the document. I showed her the document I created, and I said, now on, when we have an interview lined up, do you mind filling this document out? I think it would work really well for the both of us so that you can see all the information in one place and I also can see it. And that way there's not all these emails, and I can make sure that these, like, you know, the top dogs in Harvard aren't getting mixed up information, or I'm not messing anything up, because everything's so clear on our end that now we get to work the best that we get to work, you know, and it's not this like blurred thing. She was like, oh, okay, yeah. And she was receptive. Yeah, I could be like, who cares what she thinks? I'm gonna just tell her she needs to do. But it's like, no, I care. And so let's work together and make this happen. But at the same time, I'm going to express what I need to express because there's a change that needs to happen. It's something so simple like that. And so who knows, maybe I helped her to see how to approach something like that for her life. You never know. And my manager ended up finding out I did that. She's like, wow, okay, interesting. And she thought that that was a really great approach, an idea that I had. And yeah, in my head, an Aquarius energy could be like, duh, like, why don't people think like this? And, oh, this is why I don't like people. But it's like, hold up, take a moment. You can care about people and still stand on business and really show up as that person versus expecting people to show up that way. It's like this thing where, why can't people wake up to the truth of how things should be? And it's like, that's just not how it is. You have to lead by example a lot of times when it comes to Aquarius energy. You have a duty to show up as yourself. A lot of people don't have maybe the mindset that you have, and that can feel frustrating. That can feel like, well, I'm going to distance myself and F them. You do have to work with people, even with animals. There still has to be a level of human interaction to come up with something with animals, because a lot of animals are held up within humans and within like shelters and stuff, you know? However which way you go about it. And so there is this human connection that's so important with Aquarius energy. And so the challenges is just balancing community outreach and taking time out to really tap into what you believe in without shunning other people, without feeling like you have to feel like the outcast, without feeling like you are the oddball. And yes, you may feel that, but working through the emotions is the example at the job I gave you. This is annoying. I feel invalidated sometimes because if I'm getting all these emails, like I said with that example, I'm getting confused. I feel like I don't know. And that's one thing. Aquarius don't like to not know, because Aquarius has an intuitive knowing. And so when it feels like they're out of the loop or like they're not sure what to do, that can cause discomfort. That can cause a level of frustration, because they're a little bit of a know-it-all. There's a know-it-all in all of us humans. And so that Aquarius energy is asking you to check yourself. You can know, and you can want to do better, want more and better for people without making other people feel small, or without making yourself feel small, because you can also have an idea and be like, well, no one's going to listen. And it's like, you just don't know that. Think of your approach. Think of the way that you want to step into the conversation that you want to have, you know? And so big innovative energy, big purposeful energy lives in the Aquarius energy. So if you are looking to become an entrepreneur or partner with entrepreneurs, that Aquarius energy can be important. That those characteristics, whenever you want to tap into that boss-like energy, but it's boss in a way that is different, in a way that may not look like what everyone else thinks it should look like. Yeah, that is you tapping into your Aquarius energy. And Aquarius really matches the 11th house energy, by the way, which we'll get into houses eventually for sure. The 11th house is the same thing. It's mirrored. It's community. It's how do you show up in an organization and be your most authentic, real self. That's why when people are like, the age of Aquarius, oh my gosh, that's going to be an insane age. Yeah, that's because people aren't taking shit anymore. It's, oh, for example, bread at the grocery store isn't doing it for me anymore. I'm going to do it myself. And so I bake. I make my own bread now. And that's something that I find true passion and excitement about, because I want to be able to do it myself, know that I can do it myself. And yeah, people be like, well, that's a lot of time. And why would you take the work and the amount of money you spend there? And they'll try to compare and contrast and all that stuff. But my truth is that I like to know how to make bread. That's something I'm passionate about. And I actually want to encourage others that are interested. It doesn't mean I'm bad mouthing the people that eat store-bought bread. What's the problem? Who cares? Do you? That's your body. Look, why would I be mad at that? Right? And so Aquarius energy can tend to get a little frustrated when people don't want to see their side. And it's like, breathe. You're meant to have community, but not everyone in the community is going to agree with you. Not everyone's going to see your perspective. Not everyone's going to accept your perspective. How do you handle that? Do you shut down and not speak your ideas out? Or do you take a moment to recalibrate and be like, hold up, okay, I'm learning something here. You know, Aquarius wants to give us the opportunity to say what we need to say, mean what the fuck we mean, and own it. But sometimes it comes with pushback. Sometimes it comes with discomfort. It comes with stepping outside of the norm, stepping outside of what you're used to. We need that. And so a lot of times we'll have Aquarius in different houses in our birth chart. Like I said, we'll get into that. But if you have, for example, Aquarius second house is about money, value, the things that you want. And so how do you connect the world of money to a community and to providing for a community without letting go of yourself? You know, it's really tapping into the areas of your life where money and people go hand in hand. And so maybe you're an independent person, you don't need people and this, that, and the third, but then your second house is like, no, 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 no. Money actually comes from community. Yeah, you going to that meeting within your city hall because that is where you meet people of caliber that align with you, but you won't know that if you don't take that step. You know, there's different houses, like 7th house. So Aquarius 7th house, it could be that you need to learn to actually balance having relationships. 7th house is relationships. You need to balance relationships and having a community of friends and people, and not blurring the lines and not feeling like you have to X out all your friends for your relationship, or that you only can have really intimate, deep connections, when in reality, you're meant to be free flowing. You're meant to bounce around. You're meant to actually enjoy the company of different people and experience different energies while still holding on to your relationship, your marriage, your this, your that, even your sisterhood, brotherhood, this, that. Like, balancing is important when it comes to there. So there's different areas of your life that Aquarius energy is going to challenge you, and it's necessary. And if you don't have your birth chart, just think of the places and the areas that you feel like you're different, that you feel like people don't understand you. There's beauty in that. And I know it sounds cliche, but embrace your differences. That is what Aquarius wants you to do. So much beauty lives within us when we let the real us shine, when we let our real, honest, authentic truth shine, but from a place of love and compassion. When we're forcing things onto others, that is when we can become a tyrant. So you can be in a community and people looking at you like, why do you always want to be the best in the room? Or why do you always want to, like, for example, my coworker could have been like, why are you coming in here trying to change everything? But instead I made it a us thing. I didn't make it I need it this way, so you need to do it this way because the way you're doing it is stupid. No, I didn't make her feel less than. I said, we're partners. Let's do this. However, I am the leader in that moment because I led with a document that could help the both of us. And so stepping up meant taking that initiative. And then I can be the example. Instead of nagging and going to my manager and telling my manager, and my manager has to go talk to her, and now we have to have a meeting, and now finally we get to, no, I'm not doing all that. But that was me. That's how I handled it. And so it's just an example, but just be aware of the things that you want in this lifetime and understand that you can have it and you can connect with the people that can help you to obtain it. You just have to be honest about where you're at. Be honest about your fears. Of course, fears come up when you're doing things differently. Be so truly honest, because you can end up blaming people and doing all this anger, frustration, and all that. But Aquarius energy is like, yo, be yourself, be you, and show up and watch how you become the example. But if you want to force people to do things, it's not going to work, no matter how much you force and try, and we all have it in us. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about astrology as a whole. All the zodiac signs live within us. Aquarius is like, yo, boss up for me. Boss up with compassion. Boss up with love. Don't let your fears hold back your ideas. Don't let your fears tell you that you can't actually go talk to that person and speak your mind. You can't show up how you need to show up. It's so important to have faith in your knowing. You know, Aquarius know. They understand. They're in their head a lot. Their heart space kind of gets neglected a little bit. And so tap into that heart space still. You're still allowed to connect to your heart, connect to people, but you know what you know. You know the type of people that may not support you that much. It doesn't mean you X them out of the group. It means you know what you're watching for. You know what type of community is for you and what isn't. You know what you need to give your loyalty to and what they need to work for a little bit. It doesn't mean you make a big commotion like you need to work for it. It's just this thing where it's a knowing. You speak on it. You move with that energy. You're not giving speeches, you just lead by example. Okay, so this is a quick synopsis, of course. I mean, it's not that quick, but we'll get more into Aquarius, but this is just the intro of like, yo, you have it in you. You have this characteristic, and it's a beautiful characteristic. Own that shit, okay? Own it, and believe that this energy is so important in this lifetime. We each are on this planet for a reason. And I'm not telling you, go look for it, go search. It's just tap into the shit that you know. Tap into the things that move you. Doesn't mean you have to do something so huge. Just take small steps. Take a small step towards it and watch. And the mental is going to mess with you. We all have all the other planets and all the other signs that are affecting Aquarius too. So of course we're all going to show up in that Aquarius energy differently. Some people may be more confident, and so they need to tone it down a little bit. Like, hey, you need to not make people feel less than because you know so much. And then there's people that are so shy and don't believe in themselves. And it's like, hey, people need to hear you. You need to believe in yourself a little more humbly and with love, but still believe that you know what the hell you know. You know what I mean? So you have to figure out where on that scale you are. But every sign has the pros and cons. You just have to make it work for you. You have to tap in and see, where am I and how can I improve, and really lean into this energy. Okay? So Aquarius season is always between mid-January, mid-February. And so keep this energy in mind, specifically around that time for sure. But throughout the year, Aquarius is always going to exist within you. So keep this video in mind regardless. Okay? Save it for next time if you need to. But that is it for now, okay? Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe if you'd like. If not, I still appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate you making it this far. And we will chit-chat about Pisces next. So I hope to see you in the next video, right? Head over there, okay? All right. Bye.